Hey, what's going on, crypto people? Excuse me. It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What's going on? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having an absolutely outstanding day. So I got a question for you, and that is, do you have 2020 vision? Right? This is the year 2020. And do you have 2020 vision? And what I mean by that, for me, the definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. You got to ask yourself, what is going on with this coronavirus? What is going on? I find it very interesting. One of the articles I saw online was that the People's Bank of China was injecting liquidity because of a thing. They thought that the coronavirus and this sentiment and the madness behind it would cause the markets to crash, and so they were going to inject liquidity into the market. And it feels as though that's the same thing has been going on with the repo market. This need to inject liquidity into the market. I find it very, very fascinating that two major nations are having to inject liquidity into the market. I really, really find that to be very, very fascinating. And here we stand as early adopters in this digital asset space, and more importantly, XRP hodlers. XRP hodlers, right? We've already seen that the Volcker rule and the amendment to it was going to allow for banks, and I think this is the most important part, allow for the banks to better manage their liquidity management tools, to give them more options to utilize their liquidity management tools. I think that's very, very significant. I don't know how many PDFs we've read now where they've mentioned liquidity management tools in the PDFs, whether it's coming from the IMF, right? Whether it's coming from Financial Stability Oversight Committee, whether it's coming from the, I think even it was even in the Financial Stability Institute PDF as well. And here we are as XRP hodlers with this thing that they call the on-demand liquidity tool. Do you think that's a coincidence? Do you think that's a coincidence? Who can argue that the overall crisis globally is illiquidity? Who can argue that? Like, a lot of people can argue XRP, Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin. A lot of people can argue those. But who can argue that? Who can deny the fact that the global economic crisis is in fact illiquidity? Period. That is the crisis. So when we talk about this global reset, when we talk about something being backed or pegged to gold, any of that stuff, in the end, the crisis is illiquidity. That's the crisis. And when the word begins to get out that this digital asset and this new financial system that provides liquidity, start paying attention. Get your XRP radar antennas up for mainstream media just to start pushing and speaking in terms of what's going on with the central bank debt and the lack of liquidity, what's going on in these world governments, and what's going on in terms of debt. You're going to hear debt, corporate debt, global debt, central bank debt, which is essentially illiquidity, not being able, right, to meet demands. They're going to hear about these tied up trillions of dollars, and that they're going to need a liquidity injection. A liquidity injection, guys. hope you're paying attention to that. I hope that you have 2020 vision. Again, the definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. Anybody can see the bull run when the bull run is here. Anybody can do that, right? Are you paying attention to what's going on in the market? TA wise, does it make any? Does it even matter to you? Does it even matter to you? I wonder. I think it matters a little bit. I think it matters a little bit. So it looks like that XRP is kind of still doing this thing sideways. If you're paying attention to a couple of the TA guys in the space, doing this thing a little bit sideways. Bitcoin dominance and that reversal is the key to it all. If you ask smart TA guys like high altitude investing and blockchain backer, shout out to those dudes. So we're just waiting for that to flip. I hope you guys got your bags full. I hope you're in a position to leverage this, nearly 2-year bull run that's about to happen. Hope you're excited about that. I hope you position well for that. I'm excited to add to my position in the altcoin space. Really excited about leveraging some of the smaller mid-cap digital assets, small to middle sized caps. Really excited about doing that. That's going to be really, really cool. Take the gains while they're available. The market is the market. Altcoin markets are going to do what altcoin markets do. It's just the way it is. You know, when we talk about a project winning or not winning, right? That's over an extended period of time, right? So, you know, that's a 3-5 year thing, whether they're going to make it or not. While they're up and running now, and they got this bull market happening, you know, look, the masses are going to jump into this space. That is without question. And will they look at the top 5 to 10? Without question, they will. And how many of those are less than $1? You got to ask yourself that, right? You got to ask yourself that. And Bitcoin may do its thing, and it may be at a high price. But when the masses come into the space, how many of those are going to be able to get a Bitcoin, or 2 Bitcoins, or 100 Bitcoins, or 1,000 Bitcoin, or 10,000 Bitcoins? Who's going to be able to do that? Right? Who is going to be able to do that? Got to ask yourself that. So where else are they going to look? They may stay in the top 10, but how many of those, again, are less than $1? You got to ask yourself that, I would imagine. I remember when I started this channel over a year ago, that was the first thing that I would always say. Actually, it's longer than, yeah. You know, when they look at that top 5, which one's under $1? It's a very, very interesting thing. Cardano was there for a bit. I don't know if Cardano's in the top 10 or not, or longer. I don't know. But that's what the masses are going to do. They're going to come in kind of uninformed. They're going to kind of look at some prices. They're going to kind of look and see what they can afford. Perhaps they're going to kind of do some homework. Most likely not. They say, this is the stuff that I can afford. I mean, oh my gosh, I can get this many of these because it's only at this price. That's just kind of how it goes, right? It's just kind of how it goes. And so we want to be positioned with our sell orders so they can buy our stuff that we're selling because we positioned it well. But in terms of being this XRP hodler, I get it. We all know that this thing is going to do some significant things. And in the end, if this is, in fact, the liquidity provider, they need the price to be high. You can't deny it. You can't say, no, they don't. They don't need it. When we're talking trillions of dollars, they need the price to be high. And in my opinion, that is at least 3 figures. At least to even begin to make it in. So don't sleep on the Nasdaq Liquidity Index. I just found out about Japan doing this crypto asset index of the top 5 coins. XRP happens to be of 5 coins, and XRP happens to be one of those 5 that they will be doing this index on for Japan and institutional investors. Shout out to Crypto Eddie. I went on that particular site to check that out and read it. It's very, very interesting. But I think it's interesting in that Japan, this nation, that is so consumed with digital assets, is coming up with this index for institutional investors, and XRP is on there. You gotta love that. All of these indexes. I wonder who might be tapping into that. Could it perhaps be the Nasdaq? Another index to tap into to determine the value of the top 3 digital assets? I think so. I hope you guys are prepared for it. I hope you guys have 2020 vision. And listen, guys, never ever forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, but we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.